Hi, everybody. I'm Kim. Welcome to the Regretful Yarn Addict. Today is a Wednesday wrap up, and let's see what I made, shall we? Let's start with my October square for my temperature blanket because, wow, this is it. 30 degrees was the low, 90 degrees was the high. Yeah. This was at the beginning of the month, and this was definitely at the end. Because the end of October sure was a cold one. So I've got my yarn ordered. It should have been here today for my 2024 temperature blanket, and I do like those colors a lot better. I just really didn't give much thought to the colors that were going into this temperature blanket. It was just like, well, I've got this yarn and this yarn and this yarn. I'll just order this yarn. And yeah, a lot of the colors clash. I don't like that. I mean, it's going to be an interesting blanket, I guess. I'm just not that impressed. Oh Lord, I feel like I got a sneeze coming on. Oh, okay. Hopefully that'll stave it off until I'm done. So, last week I showed you I was starting a snake. He's done, but he's kind of boring. I feel like he just needs something. I don't know if I want to put a tongue, maybe, or a bow tie. I don't know. But he needs something. And because it's a he, I'm not going to put eyelashes on him. Because we need him to be masculine. Oh, yes. I skinnied his tail out, but oh well. Then I got on a kick where it was like, okay, here's the truth, you guys. I could honestly spend the next few weeks making nothing except snakes and chickens, and I would be fine. I like making snakes and chickens. So, to use up one ball of this yarn, I made my snake that's about 48 inches long or so. He's about 48 inches. And then I made two chickens. So I got two chickens and one snake, and I have some left over from one skein of this burnout blanket yarn. Cluck, 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 cluck. And then I had, talk about, not irony, but I'm not sure what it would be. I played chicken, yarn chicken, while making this one. I think I had about that much yarn left over when I got done. I think this was some yarn from Hobby Lobby. I didn't even have enough to like pull them down in the middle like you're supposed to do. So I made that one. And then, no, it seemed this one got pushed down too much. So then I made another one of these. Still got some of this. I made 2 chickens, so I should have enough for a snake if I want to make a snake out of this. And then I made a yellow one. So I got myself some 5 chickens, a snack, and then I was like, let's try some hats. Crocheted hats this time. Okay, now I don't know if this is a pattern or what, but it's just something that I threw together. I liked it when it was done. So I have this hat. And then I have a slightly bigger one. And these were both made using the same cake of yarn, and it was a DK Colors. Premier DK Colors. I don't remember the color. I threw away the band. But I think it's pretty neat how you get 2 different designs out of one. And I made this one first and this one second. I love this yarn. It's just so soft. This one fits me. This one's a little big. This one I did up to 72, and this one I went up to 84. Otherwise, they're identical. And then just to see what it would look like in a solid color, a solid 4-weight, I made this one. And this one I only went to 60. And it's just slightly smaller than this one. See, just very slightly smaller. But anyway, I love this design. I really like that design. I know there are hats similar to these, but I was thinking about doing a tutorial for it, but I don't want to make one if there's a hat, identical to it. Because really, I just sat here and it was like, what am I going to do? All right, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that, and then I'll repeat and blah, blah. And then, while I was still on a hat thing, I made this big honkin' one. This is the feather stitch. I do have a tutorial coming up for this stitch. And all I did was I made a rectangle, and then I sewed up the ends together, like, if you're going to do a front loop or a back loop only hat, the ridged one, where you just make it, sew it up, cinch it. And I cinched it, and then I made my rim, and I was like, I just didn't like it. It would just look too squinched at the top. So I took it apart and I just put half double crochets and just decreased. So there's an easier way to do this. Don't do it that way. But anyway, it's a big old honkin' hat. And that, my friends, is what I've been making that I can show you, because everything else I've made are tutorials for stitches that will be coming up in the next couple weeks. And yeah, so that's that. Wish I had more to show you. I am putting together a booklet folder kind of thing, where for all my stitches that I've been making on the tutorials, I've been making a little sample, and I'm putting them in a sleeve. Well, here, hang on. It's just, this is like, why don't I just drop stuff all over those I haven't put in yet? But I'm just putting them in a sleeve, the sample, and then the instructions on how to do it. But there's got to be a better way to do this. And that's my goal, is to find a better way to keep those together so that I can, have something to look at with a real sample. If I'm ever like, I want to make something, and what stitch do I want to use? I can just go look at my little book. So let's see what the card advice is for this week, shall we? First quarter moon in Scorpio, release your blocks. And on the bottom, we have new moon in Gemini, think it through. Release your blocks and think it through. Okay. All right. So, yeah, when my order gets here with my yarn for my temperature blanket for next year, I will show it. And then sometime at the end of this month, I will put together a video. And anybody who wants to join me next year, I will be doing a temperature blanket crochet along. Just remember, I only use one block per month. This isn't something that has to be all committed. One block for 1 month. And that's going to do it for today. Y'all have a good day, good morning, good evening, whatever, whenever, wherever it is when you're watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do. You never know. Some days I might be quite boring, and some days I might be quite entertaining. It's a toss-up. So take care. All right? Later, Gators. Peace out.